thing works, man.
Howdy, howdy. We're back with the New York and Jersey boys and looking to get rowdy. If you're not all caught up, we're out here at Table Mesa with 14-year-old Charlie, his dad Big Charlie, and the 4x4 Place crew, giving them a little slice of Arizona pie.
So right now we're on Anaconda, and we're going down it. Typically people go up it, so hopefully nobody goes up while we're going down.
Arizona pretty much has a little bit of everything and throws out some trickery when you least expect it. Next thing you know, you're turtled out on a rock. This wedge here doesn't look like much, but the two boulders are undercut and it really hangs you out, especially because the gap is smaller than your chassis. Once you get your fronts up and over, you grind your way through with your belly skids, and then you get the rear tires to climb. Now we enter the squeeze. As you drop into the tight section of the trail, it wants to throw you to the driver's side. Wide rigs have to ride the right side of the wall a little bit to keep the cage from getting snagged. As you can see, little Charlie's rig is just narrow enough he can ride the bottom of the squeeze without any problems. Just like that, we finish Anaconda. Not a long trail, but one worth hitting as it's on the way to our next trail. As I explained to the group how this next trail Terminator is as mild or as wild as you want to make it, Jess heads on over to unload a little bit of trash she picked up on the trail.
I don't know why there's a bullet casing here.
The shell casing,
there you
guys.
go, whatever. Tell the gun guy. Alright, Bronson and Forrest plan on going down some rowdy shit. Yeah, you might have to back up.
Welcome to the very beginning of Terminator. These two first obstacles are extremely optional and not driven by many. That is what makes this trail so rad, because any rig can hit this trail from mildly built to most extreme and wheel it together with being able to challenge them and have fun. Now we're running this obstacle backwards. We went around the go-around and came down backwards because of one reason. We've never seen anybody do it, and we've only heard of a few people going down this. It's a pretty big crack, and the objective is you want to straddle that from the beginning all the way till the end until you get to this fall part. But the problem is on the part where it falls off. As it gets wide, it's undercut, and it throws you all cattywampus, so it really wants to pitch you and like swallow you in that crack. So you're gonna come down and you're gonna have it in front dig, and you're gonna try to keep both tires on the wall even though one fades away, and just kind of ride it and straddle it as you're falling nice and evenly. Once you fall down to the bottom, that's where you got to pay attention to your rears and then start driving passenger out of this obstacle. You're going to get to the point where those rears are going to get to the edge of the wall, and again, you want to make sure they fall just nice and evenly, so that way it doesn't throw your buggy into any of these walls and do some damage. And right here is where it's a nice slide down gently, keep your buggy away, and you made it through. So here we have a drag axle that's attempting this obstacle. A drag axle is an axle that doesn't steer and it's located in the rear of the buggy. What makes it so hard for that is that when they come into this crack, they're not able to adjust those rears to keep it center by just using the flip of a lever. They've actually got to premeditate and get those rears centered by manipulating the front and over dramatically turning the fronts. And then you'll also see that the drop off is pretty much the same. You're going to straddle the crack, you're going to fade to the driver's side. That way it comes down nice and easy. Obviously you're going to be in front dig because that stretches out your buggy and gives you more control in the front. But now you're going to see why having a drag axle is a little tougher on the dismount. Because you can't turn those to go to the driver's side so that way they equally fall off the walls, bam, it drops hard, but that's all right. That's part of having a drag axle buggy. Here's the other bonus line at the beginning of Terminator. This is pretty much an up and over. And you'd think you just go around. I mean, you totally can go around. But when you have a buggy like this, we're always trying to find challenges just like this one. So it's a pretty gnarly waterfall, pretty vert. But the big thing on this one is that breakover. You're going to see it really grabs your belly. And what you're doing is you're floating back and forth on the front to try to get it to pop up to give your belly just enough clearance, and you're going to manipulate those rears as well if you've got that rear steer to just try to bite off just enough traction to get you to pop up and get up the obstacle. Bam, just like that, you saw us pan around, and that's the up and over. And on this side, you're going to go ahead, pull out that rear drive and just do front dig. Front dig stretches out your buggy and then it gives you that control. And then if you do hit the bottom, you don't have the force of that rear axle to push you over to make you flip forward.
Oh my God, they look so easy.
Oh, there it goes.
Just like that, drag the backs down and you can see when you're holding the brakes and pulling the fronts, drags those rears, keeps you squatted. Here we've got Big Charlie in his Willys rear steer rig all the way from New York, coming down here, Wheeling, Arizona, jumping right into this big crack obstacle. When he said he was coming to AZ, he said he wasn't afraid to get rowdy, so he's out here putting it in. We got next up on the up and over, we've got Virgil in his Rock Lizard chassis. And this guy, he is known for doing the rear steer lines and making it look easier in his drag axle. And that's exactly what he does yet again.
That rock is still there. Oh my God.
then it broke off.
And then I hit forward, and when I hit forward, it started to go, but then it got like really light, and I was like, yank, back to front, and then I just slithered myself down.
What you got there?
I just finished this like a minute ago, and then this is what I should have had this morning. You know, it's just stuff that I found on the trail, to be honest with you.
Like I said before, not a whole lot of people have gone down this crack. Going up is even less. There are only about a handful of people who have completed this crack, and lucky for me, I wheel some rad friends who know just how to dirtbag me into a tough obstacle. You might be wondering why I'm coming off one ledge going to this crack instead of just center punching it down the line. Well, the reason I don't do that is because on that left wall, it's actually has a negative camber. So it's not like a normal crack, it's undercut on that left wall, and it's really hard to get your tires up it. So coming at it, dropping off that wall really puts myself in the proper angle to really get myself to where it's gonna try to climb it. Now you'll see that there's an outrageous amount of bind on this obstacle, so you're gonna see me turning that wheel back and forth to try to get it to loosen up the bind. I'll also be going in and out of front dig and rear dig just to get squared up and get this thing to climb without busting an axle. Boy, were we stoked to get through that part of the obstacle. But don't worry, we're only halfway through, so there's plenty of stuff we could F up on the way. I cannot believe we just made it up that. I've passed this crack about 100 times, and anyone who's wheeled Table Mesa and been on Terminator Trail knows exactly what this crack is. I've scratched my head wondering how the heck anyone could ever do this and just deemed it pretty much undoable. But years later, here I am challenging myself and putting myself up here with my friends in good spots to get me through it. This is why we rock crawl, to push ourselves to the limits and see what we can do to challenge ourselves each and every obstacle.
Woo! My babe! Fucking killing it!
Something cool? When you're pushing your hydraulic steering so much in the front and the rear and binding it, you start getting soaked shoes. No! Look at all that, it's all slippery. Oh no! But was it worth it? Oh yeah, buddy.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps us out. We can do more stupid shit like this.
Alright, it's time to go hit the rest of Terminator Trail. Super cool. 14-year-old Charlie's giving our daughter Colby, who's 9 years old, a ride in his buggy. Combined age of these two is only 23 years old. Start them young and raise them right. So this waterfall is a bonus line as well. And the way it works is if you try to approach it straight on, it's got such a sharp point at the top that your belly gets stuck on it, and it doesn't allow your front tires to grab any traction because it's got such a sharp point. So what you end up having to do is you go high left like you're shooting up the wall, which doesn't make quite sense, but once you get up there, put it in front dig, and then use that front dig to swing your front end over, and then you slide over the top. That way your belly clears that point, and then you put it on all four and drive on through.
You're good.
After getting through that, you're going to keep it in front dig, so that way you can swing around tight and shoot yourself right down the next waterfall.
There you go, straighten her out.
I love when this thing flexes.
Little driver. You're good. Rear driver. Never mind, it flexed it out. You're good. Oh yeah, good driving, brother.
This is the last obstacle of the trail, and it's called Shoot the Moon. It's called Shoot the Moon because you're going straight up a wall, and then you got to turn a hard left and go up that waterfall without falling in or going backwards.
Look at Colby.
Best way to support this channel is by giving that subscribe button a little skiddly do, diddle that notification bell, give this video the fat finger, and leave us a dirty little comment. As always, thanks for watching.